I've been sitting with these concepts for nearly a decade, and it's time to pull them out of my throat. I want to document my existence. I want to get better at video editing, and I want to get back into casual research without anyone demanding that I turn it in. So I'm building a subject index. Each video in the series will tackle a related concept, kind of bridging it all together from A to Z. And for the first subject index, research really is me search. I want to explore madness, psychosis, mania, without getting too much lost in the weeds on diagnosis itself. Specifically, how they're depicted in various cultures, how folks who suffer from symptoms describe its impact, and how histories have unfolded to really mythologize, misunderstand, and even fear that lived experience. But why an index? Alphabetical order is kind of a way of hosting all of my thought fragments without forcing them into any sort of resolve. In Dennis Duncan's Index, A History of the, he walks us through the alphabet as this great leveler, where nothing is really implied by its ordering, especially in exhibition. Obviously, that really appeals to me. Duncan later quotes power couple historians Mary and Richard Rosse. To deliberately employ alphabetical order amounts to a tacit recognition that each person who used a work could rearrange it in a personal order, different from others and from the author themselves. If you like paired reading, try Nabokov's Pale Fire alongside Duncan's Index. And if you haven't heard of Pale Fire, its structure is rather experimental. It presents a fictional poem alongside fictional commentary by the poet's neighbor, including a foreword and an index. And the index is where the real party happens, to be honest. It transcends its function as merely a reference tool and instead becomes the engine that really drives the book's narrative, which you have to assemble rather than receive. So building your understanding of the book's relationships is completely nonlinear. You're flipping from index entry to poem, back to index entry, back and forth. And after the experience that is Pale Fire, I went down several rabbit holes on what genre it even fits into and what genres it gave rise to, namely ergodic literature and hypertext fiction, which are really defined by fragmented, recursive, and reader-driven ways of reading. Those genres really require you to choose how you navigate the book, and also they allow you to co-author the story in a way. So think Goosebumps or any other choose your own adventure story where the structure matters just as much as the content itself. But instead of using that framework as a reason to create a hypertext story in Twine, I decided, let me try to see if I can apply the process to my own knowledge exploration. The bipolar index is structured like an index because that's sometimes how a lot of our minds work. It's associative, self-referential, and really nonlinear, with ideas that, kind of surface, loop back, and then recontextualize one another at the same time. And anyone can enter at any letter, stay with a single concept, or trace connections across entries without really needing to fit them into a clean narrative. Plus, this is just a bonus, but if there's any engagement, it kind of serves as annotations unfolding in real time. Because by the end of it, I really want the series to kind of function as a living catalog that anyone can revisit in any direction. But if I'm mainly talking into the void, that's a-okay, because I've been sitting with these concepts for nearly a decade, and it's time to pull them out of my throat. The goal is ultimately to organize something that I feel is swashing about in my brain with the tides of my daily life. So I'm not just thinking out loud, but I'm making a map out of me. And with that being said, I just want to offer a quick disclaimer. I am not a medical professional, and anything said in these videos is purely exploratory, and I hope some of it is interesting to you. Enjoy!